Ether Drift is almost here, and so it's absolutely a stupid idea for me to put out a standard deck when all anybody wants to see is the new Ether Drift cards, which we don't have yet at the time of recording. But wait! This deck is just too fun. I had to share it. This deck will be good in Ether Drift. It's great in the current standard, and it's completely super duper budget. This is Recurring Delney, the Raise the Past deck. I don't know what you want to call it. It's a black and white, play small creatures, they come back. It's absolutely insane. You really got to see this. I had to share it. Let's go. Welcome to the Attic. Manadad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena, and I've been just having a blast with this stupid deck, which somebody beat me with, and then I created my own version, and I've changed things up. It's my definition of a budget deck, which means 10 or fewer rares or mythics, which is very much a challenge when you're talking about a two-color deck. But we do have Neglected Manor in the format, and we can run Scoured Barrens just, because I'm using 2 of my rares on Concealed Courtyard. If you've got more, run more. But the reason we do need rares, absolutely, you need Raise the Past. You probably need Overlord of the Baelmerk. There's not a lot in common and uncommon that's going to fill your graveyard up too much. And why are we filling up our graveyard? Well, because Raise the Past is just absolutely bonkers when you combine it with all these little guys that either gain life or make your opponent lose life, or make your opponent lose life when you gain life, or you draw cards, or you make your opponent discard cards. It's a lot of fun. And then you can run Delney, which doubles up all of these triggers because these are all creatures that you control with power 2 or less. That also makes them unblockable. So you can win any number of ways, actually, with this deck. You can not get a Delney or a Raise the Past. Just play a bunch of these good little value creatures that give you more than a card's worth for their cost, and then you do that and you bring them back. We have a couple Dewdrop Cures. The deck I was cloning or I was basing this off of, I think runs 4, but I've trimmed it down to 2 because really it's not necessarily needed. There's so much removal that your opponent is putting these guys in the graveyard for you, and then you just can hold out the game because you're gaining so much life with the Elos and the Hinterland and the Vengeful Blood Witch, and then at the key moment, you play Raise the Past, and you bring it back, and you absolutely destroy people. I'm telling you, you really have to see this happen. You have to see this deck in action. You're not gonna believe me how really actually good this is on a budget until you see it in action. So enough of my yammering. Let's take this deck to the ladder up against real meta decks full of rares, and I will show you how this deck performs. Let's go.
Hey, it's me, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Actually, haunting and overlording are just my hobbies. My day job is managing the YouTube algorithm. I try to make sure lots of negative, conspiracy-laden clickbait shows up in your feed. Nightmare fuel. Whatever you do, don't like, comment, or elder gods forbid, subscribe to a channel like this one, okay? We don't need your feed filled up with people who genuinely enjoy playing Magic like this so-called Manadad. He puts deck lists and other useful links in the description. He even shows real win rate stats at the end of the videos. Yikes. Clicking on positive, helpful videos takes away from the time I could be spending haunting woods or putting my friend Writhing Chrysalis into draft boosters. But you don't have to take it from me. 9 out of 10 players who want to unban grief agree. Now let's see. What is your racist uncle clicking on today? He has impeccable taste. Let me send some of those videos your way.
Playing some budget black and white, budget Orzhov baby reanimator? What's a cool name to give this? If you've got a better name than whatever I named it, leave it in the comments. All right, well, no turn 1, and opponent is going first. That kind of stinks, but all that said, we have a hand. I think we'll keep it. We can try to Overlord and, Dewdrop back something cool. Opponent also black and white. If you could stop giving me Orzhov mirror matches, that would be great. Because we found the life gain bats deck is not a great matchup for us. Hopeless Nightmare. Okay, well, guess what, opponent? We actually want our creatures in the graveyard. Whoopsie poopsie. Just don't make us exile Overlord of the Baelmark. You crazy discard deck. Kai! 01. Okay. Well, it looks like it's the #1 deck in the format. Esper Pixie doing its Pixie thing, which was going to bounce. The Nightmare or the Talent? Bounces the Nightmare. Okay, they want to make us discard. We could make them discard, but let's just impend this. No, good. We hit a bunch of creatures. We'll take Delney back because we can't get it back with Dewdrop Cure. The question starts to become, I guess we play Elos of Core, could trade off with the token. It's Nightmare. I think the Blood Witch is better in our graveyard to bring back. Just gotta survive long enough here. Oh, okay. We'll lose the Informant. Delney plus Informant is pretty good. Oh, okay. Well, an untapped Neglected Manor. Do we think their last spell is a kill spell? I guess we'll find out. Hopefully they can't deal 9 damage this turn. I guess bouncing Delney and the Storm Chaser's Talent would be sad for us. We really want Delney around. We do drop Cure next turn, and then I think we're back in it. Bring back 2 Blood Witches and an Informant, maybe? I guess Elos on the field would have been good. Maybe we were supposed to discard Elos instead of one of those Blood Witches. Elos is kind of like life gain plus Blood Witch. Okay, well, guess we'll get our shot here. Question is, because do we need this land? Guess we'll put Elos in the yard. No blocks. Go to 3. Oh, and then we got to raise the pass. Well, that's even better. That all worked out very perfectly. And we can mill ourselves. Mill ourselves. Someone's going to have to discard cards they don't have. Bajillion Elos triggers here. We go back up to 13. No attacks. And over to you, opponent. What did they draw off the top? Good news is we can let stuff go to the graveyard here too, because we can bring it back with Dewdrop. We've got Helpful Hunter, we wouldn't mind getting 2 cards off of. And Hinterland Sanctifier to gain some life. An opponent just scoops it up, taking down the best deck in the format. Black-White Reanimator. Budget Baby Back Ribs. Baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back. Baby's back. Always going first. Why does the opponent always got to go first? Does anybody know? We're just like all tap lands. Do that. Gloom Lake Verge. Is it going to be Deermere bounce or Esper bounce? That's what I want to know. Okay, well, maybe nothing bounce because they are not playing anything. That's Elos. If they want to counterspell it, that's fine. Or remove it with nowhere to run. Not worried about that. Sorry, opponent. Okay, super reactive from opponent. let's play 2 creatures. Almost, I should probably play the Helpful Hunter, but I almost want to do the Blood Witch. Split Skin Doll in there, that's another good target. I almost want to do the Blood Witch because I feel like they've got a lot of removal. It's almost safer in our graveyard. I might actually want to draw off this Hunter. Get all the removal out of their hand now. Or the bounce. They'll just reuse the removal. Interesting. Do they want to use it on the Gnawing Vermin? Yes, they do. Can't let me attack them. Does the opponent have any actual action, though? So let's play... As I don't think... Well, they could have remove soul, but they don't. Okay. Like, there's no 2-mana counterspell that can stop this. Actually, there is. No 2-mana counterspell that they play that can stop it. And another nowhere to run. Hits the Blood Witch, most likely. Yep. Okay, they took a damage. We now have more than 3 targets in our graveyard for the Dewdrop Cure. Well, Should we find out if they've got the counterspell? Or should we try to Delney first? I think we try to Delney first. So let's see. They can activate that Soulstone Sanctuary. And if they do, then we're clear to raise the past. If not, we're going to Delney. Okay. Delney it is. Counterspell? Counterspell me? On the Delney? Feeling pretty confident they're not out of... Oh, we have a second Delney. Fortunately, they had the 5 mana, so they get to shape their hand a bit. Actually discarded a nowhere, or this town ain't big enough. If you could have a way to win opponent, that would be cool. Rather than just being so... There we go. Okay, now they got Storm Chaser's Town, they got Fear of Isolation. Would love for them to play that nowhere to run. They could have negate. I think we're gonna risk. We risk raising the path. Blah, blah, blah. Raise the past. If we're gonna do that, we're gonna attack with Helpful Hunter. We're going all in here. Okay, they got negate. This is probably all over. Not. Here we go. Gnawing Vermin, we will target ourselves to mill 2. Nowhere to run's gonna hit Elos, maybe? Okay. Not a big deal. Look, we got more stuff in the graveyard. Little do you know, opponent. We've drawn cards and did not get them down to 13 or less, so that's our turn there. Now they can bring back... This town ain't big enough. And if they have a land drop, then they could replay it and start their Storm Chaser loop. That's probably the best we can hope for. They're just going for value with the Storm Chasers. Huh. Well... Care to trade off? I guess we don't even care if we trade off there. We can easily take 4 damage. They almost certainly have a spell. They could make it a 3/3, so. Ooh, Kaito. Was not expecting that.
Slim chances just make victory that much sweeter.
Now they're down to 1 mana, so we just have to worry about cut down, stopping our Delney.
Your secrets didn't stay hidden for long.
We can Delney Dewdrop Cure. Possibly just really snack them out here. I don't like how long it froze there. I have a feeling Delney is toast. Even given that. Well, I can only bring back Elos and Starscape at the moment. So let's attempt to draw 2 cards with the Helpful Hunter. Ooh, Baelmerk. And the Neglected Manor. If I attack with everything and they take it, I can play this untapped. I'd probably happily trade with the Blood Witch here. Blood Pit's Drowner post-combat. Stunning Delney. There, 12. Hopeless Nightmare. We'll lose the Vermin, obviously. Overlord can get back at the Delney that's in our graveyard. Fear of Isolation. Nowhere to run. Hitting what? Hitting the Elos. Okay. So I'm going to get double trigger on the Blood Witch. I go to 10. We're at 22. And should I just trade with the Flood Pit's Drowner? More triggers. I go to 8. What you got, opponent? Surveil 2.
Information is its own weapon.
I think I can just drop back the Starscape Cleric. And the Elos. And that's probably Starscape, Elos, and Helpful Hunter. Is that going to be enough triggers? You lose life, you lose life, you lose life. Boom! Take that, Alf. Taking down one of the top decks in the format once again. Really hoping to show off this deck and the crazy games that I wish I'd been recording. So I hope I get a repeat of some of those. Okay, yeah. We've got our Raise the Past. Opponent is going first, unfortunately. We can hinterland, play tapland, hinterland, or play Blood Witch. See, maybe the meta has moved on here. Ken 1357. Ditch is a card, okay. White Crawling Chorus. Poison deck's going to be interesting. They don't care about us gaining life. Dollmaker's Shop. Well, that's not poison. happy just to trade that off, I guess. Make another token. I guess we'll go with Blood Witch. Seer Slicer Goblin. Okay, opponent is pretty darn aggro. Making lots of little guys. Can turn that into another creature, and we can take a toxic. I guess they're not a toxic deck, so we're not as worried about that. Could be some kind of rat or token deck. What does this do? Base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. Well, I guess we definitely want to eliminate as many creatures as we can, so let's eliminate a toy. And we get an Elos, which will let us do more and better blocking. So let's play that. Gain a life. Go to 21. No attacks. Opponent looks to be able to create 2 creatures a turn, or 3 creatures a turn. That's a mythic. That's a rare. That's a rare. So it's not exactly a budget deck up against us here. They're only attacking with the 1. We just keep drawing the tap lands. I think we're going to hope that they make a big attack and we can just throw all our stuff in front of the bus here. Well, I guess that was a sequencing mistake, so punt.
From the end zone, he punts it. Oh my goodness, this could be the longest punt in Super Bowl history.
I don't think
missed
I've been
gaining a
that
life.
excited for a punt. What a punt!
I missed gaining a life by not playing the Hinterland Sanctifier first. Okay, so what do we do? We're just attacking with the 1 creature. We'll put something in the graveyard. In life, play a Sanctifier. As long as the opponent's not swinging out. How much do they need to activate this? They need 6 mana? They're almost there. Guess they're trying to get there. Just take 3, right? Draw something good off the top. A land. Alright, well maybe they will just swing out. The War Leader's Call. That might encourage them to swing out. We might die. We might not be able to absorb enough damage here. Okay. Yeah, we kind of just gotta... What do we gotta do? Try to eliminate as many creatures as possible, but that's not very many. No matter which ones we block. Okay, let's see if we survive, or did they get 26 damage? And they're going to take a lot of triggers off the Vengeful Blood Witch. Double Blood Witches and an Elosil Core. So we go to 19, they go to 3. And, well, I guess back to raising the past. They're good gaming us. But we didn't get any way to deal the damage. We really needed a bat off the top there. Okay, we're at 39 life. Go ahead and attack again, opponent. What's it gonna be? They flip that over. Now their stuff is huge. Okay, let's just put this front of everything. But I think they got us. Because our triggers won't happen until after we're below 0. Man, we just needed a top deck. We could have won that. It's the right top deck. Black-white, small ball reanimator. Hey, we got a Delney. Opponent is going first, as they seem to always do. But, they play a tap land. Maybe we got a chance here. Let's see. See how slow they are. Looks like they're going to use removal on our guy, which is fine. 100% fine with that, especially because we got Dewdrop Cure here. So, put a bunch of guys in the graveyard, why don't you? They want to play that Gnawing Vermin. I guess we'll just, let's attack with Elos first of all. We'll play a Starscape Cleric. They can put that in the graveyard if they like. Another thing, okay, yeah. Use your 3-mana counterspell to stop it. Well, that's fine. Delney is the one we can't really get back. Ooh, okay, we hit a... Okay, we could actually play Delney first and hope to get a double trigger on the Gnawing Vermin, but... we mill ourselves. One more creature in the graveyard. And then let's attempt a Delney. I have a feeling it's going to eat a counterspell. Nope. Get a double trigger on the Elos. Attack. And a Silver Scrutiny. Okay, they're drawn for answers. Now they could have a board wipe on 5 mana here. Can't bring Delney back with this, which is unfortunate. Ooh, Overlord of the Baelmerk is cool, though. Let's impend that. See what flips up. So we can get back a bat. Or we could try and just mill more. I already have a bat in hand, but again, I think they will be tempted to counterspell this bat. And there we go. Okay. I'm worried about that bat. So they're not counterspelling though. Did we get their only counterspell? Is the question. Lands, we don't, okay, there's the Deadly Cover-Up. We hit, what do they get rid of? They got rid of the Starscape Cleric. So they're gonna take that out of our hand. That's okay, we're not reliant on that. Oof. Hitting a land here was really bad. The double lands. Having a bit of a flood problem. So we gift them a card. What we got in the graveyard? We can bring back Elos and some Hinterland Sanctifiers and the Gnawing Vermin. I don't know if it's worth gifting them a card. Can't draw or discard here with the creatures we have in our graveyard. guess we'll go for trying to fill up that graveyard with other stuff. Just hope we get the bring back our whole graveyard spell. Well, there's one that got milled. See how many deadly cover-ups they've got. Gonna triumph. Not even discarding. And another deadly cover-up, okay. Take the Elos Ilcors, I guess. Where do they hit? They're gonna hit Raise the Past. That stinks. Now we're really in trouble. Vengeful Blood Witch is cool. If opponent could stop hitting deadly cover-ups, please. That would be nice. Virtue of Persistence. Now they can start bringing back our creatures. Okay, Split Skin Doll. Let's chain off a bunch of draw cards here. Izumi Informant. That's almost as good. Lose one of your 2 cards, opponent. Overlord's going to flip at some point. Okay, they had a counterspell. They get to bring back what? Our Elos? No, they should have taken the Delney. That was a mistake on that. I guess, do we care if they want to block the Nezumi Informant? I guess we'll wait here. Sure, they're happy to make that trade. Nope. Comes Overlord. We'll probably put in a creature that removes... Now they got Delney. Should probably put in a creature that removes enchantments into this deck. A lot of things you could put into this deck. So, if I attack with Baelmerk, they block with Elos, they get a Baelmerk. On the other hand, they're at 13. And with this Vengeful Blood Witch, eventually we could wear them down. Maybe that's our plan. Just trade off as many creatures as possible. We can get a Delney of our own, thank you very much. Yeah, no surprise there. Pick off, but we'll get the triggers on the Blood Witch, and we'll start to get double triggers on the Blood Witch. With the Delney. Yeah, let's just play the planes. Chance they may... Well, maybe we should have kept that in hand. There's a chance they reanimate the rat and try to make us... opponent, unfortunately... I would cut down. And our one big fight against removal.deck was Raise the Past. We'd have one more Dewdrop Cure somewhere in the deck. Unless we milled it. They do get back Overlord the Baelmerk, but I don't think they have any creatures, so... Do they? Helpful Hunter. Get to draw 2 cards. We ain't out of this yet. Ooh, okay, another one. Draw 2 cards. Chaining off here. Opponent clearly doesn't have removal for the Delney. They would have... Oh, okay, we got Elos. And... Yeah. Do we just, if we attack all, do we win? Because they can't block. They can only block with Delney. They can't even block with Bailmerk. They can trade our Delneys. I think we win if they don't have any removal for the Elos. And double triggers. Did we get it? Did we take down Rare's control deck? Good game, opponent. Okay, well, I wanted to keep playing, but I'm running out of time here. Got to join my family. On the play, 100%. On the draw, 50%. Wow. I don't think we were on the play that much. What happened here is I wasn't able to record all the games because I did do some, as you can see, like I had some different versions I was testing out. They were obviously doing pretty well. I played some on my phone, which is not recorded here, but bottom line, 60% win rate is totally legit, I feel like, for this deck and for this current build of it. Maybe there is a build that's a little better depending on what the meta is. 100% on the play, do not expect that. That's not legit. That's just random statistics. I mean, the deck is good on the play. It wants to be on the play. Obviously, we have tap lands, and that makes it worse on the play. If you're building this not on a budget, swap out the tap lands for the untapped lands, and this deck is going to be even better. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple times I wish we had interaction. I think there's just some matchups that this deck is not going to do very well against. But as you saw, against the most popular decks in the format, like Esper Pixie, Dimir Bounce, this deck can and does win easily. This also has the advantage of people do not see this deck coming. They, as we saw, they just like, oh yeah, discard all your creatures, remove all your creatures, put them all in the graveyard, and then you're like, raise the past. They're all back, and you're dead. It's fantastic. I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. I hope you do too. Leave your comments of how you would modify the deck, what changes should be made to make it more competitive. I really do think this, maybe it's not a tier A archetype, but this is like a legit tier B archetype that basically nobody is playing. And I would love to see this get pushed even further. Maybe there's some cards in Ether Drift that will push it further. We'll have to check back and see and try it again. I think if you like it, I'm sure nobody's going to watch this because they all want to see Ether Drift, but it's just such a fun deck. You watched this far. I love you. Thanks for joining me in the attic. I've been Mana Dad, reminding you magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.